We're 1 month into the Trump presidency, and American workers already have many fewer rights than they did just about a month ago. These attacks have been numerous, but I want to talk about what has been one of the biggest threats to workers so far, and that is Elon Musk and Donald Trump's effort to eliminate the National Labor Relations Board. The NLRB is an independent government organization that protects workers from being fired or discriminated against for collective bargaining. The NLRB was started in 1935 when members of Congress and the president came together and said that workers need more rights and that there needs to be a check on the power of the ultra-rich that caused the Great Depression. So if you try to organize a union at your workplace and your employer fires you, it is the NLRB that makes sure that you are protected. If you form a union and your employer refuses to bargain with you, it is the NLRB that holds those big corporations accountable. Without a strong NLRB, workers will face more challenges in fighting for higher pay, better benefits, and workplace safety. Musk and Trump know this because they know that if you can't bargain, then all you've got left is begging. That is why they are coming after unions. That is why they are coming after workers' ability to bargain together, because they want to be able to force workers at their companies to work for more hours, for less pay, with less safety, less rights, while keeping more money for their big billionaire donors and friends. Dr. Shearholz, is it correct that overall, workers that form a union and bargain receive higher pay and better benefits than those workers who do not unionize and bargain in the same industry?
Yes, it absolutely is. Careful, raw comparisons, careful, regression-adjusted comparison, it all shows that workers who are in unions make more than similar workers who are doing the same work, same demographic characteristics, who are not in unions. Can I take 1 minute that I'm dying to correct the record on about the independent contractor rule?
Go ahead, can you correct the record?
There's just been sort of outrageous things said about the independent contract rule. The independent contractor rule that the Biden administration did not mimic AB 5. It merely restored the method for determining classification that had been in place at Wage and Hour for decades. But Trump was the one that put in a rule that very much weakened it. Biden just restored back to the method that had been used for decades. Sorry to...
And so, but it should be no surprise to us that Trump and Musk, who have private companies that generate them billions of dollars, want to have workers have fewer rights, have workers have to pay their own taxes rather than employers having to contribute, want workers to not be able to get overtime pay. They want those workers to not be able to form a union and bargain. That way, they can just get more and more money from workers and taxpayers and keep it for themselves. Last year, the NLRB cited Musk's company SpaceX for forcing workers to sign illegal severance agreements and for firing workers in retaliation for speaking critically of Musk. There's story after story, instance after instance of Musk trying to bust unions and not respect workers' basic rights that we won back in the 1930s. Instead of accepting those NLRB rulings, Elon tried to sue the NLRB out of existence, arguing in court that the organization created by Congress is unconstitutional. And now, after spending $277 million to get Trump into office, he's using his power in the White House to try to tear down the NLRB. One of the first things that Trump did was fire Gwen Wilcox, an NLRB board member who is independent. Trump is not allowed to have fired her, but without her, the board doesn't have enough members to function, making it so the NLRB cannot hand down rulings to protect workers. In summary, Mr. Chairman, Elon Musk and Donald Trump's agenda is not to make the government more efficient for workers. It's to make the government more efficient for themselves. And getting rid of the NLRB, attacking workers' rights that we've won in the 1930s, is the perfect example of how Trump and Musk are talking about how they're for working people, but what they're actually doing is screwing you over and taking your money for themselves. With that, I yield back.